Hello to all the geek enthusiasts, nerd aficionados, and deadheads. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We've been gone for the last few weeks. MaliceCast Live TV Talks. We're doing Fear the Walking Dead. This is our first cast for Fear the Walking Dead, so bear with us as I haven't learned what places to go in order to find all the deep, dark secrets yet to bring to you guys. But
and we don't have the comic books to rely on at this point.
No, and that's the fantastic thing about this show is you just don't know what's going to happen. I think you guys could agree with that. So
absolutely,
we'll get
like
into that.
The whole other point of view that we're getting about the zombies from another group of people. That's what I like.
Yeah, so. I agree. But yeah, so let's talk about who's here on the cast. You got me, Mess5150, always here. Sometimes late, but always here. We also have our female on the cast who is our deadhead aficionado, and that is Mrs. Malice. Welcome back.
Yo, new fan.
Yes. You've had to catch up, so we're going to be intrigued to hear your viewpoints on everything leading up to this, as well as the episodes from this season.
Yeah. This will be interesting to hear how binging Fear the Walking Dead is versus having had some time to watch it over time. Also on our cast, we have, as you've heard him before, his sultry voice, Mr. Icy Zorro. Welcome back, sir.
The deep, dark voice. Thank you, whiskey and cigarettes. Yeah.
Yes.
I've been missing this cast for the last couple of weeks. I'm very glad that we're doing it again.
I'm sorry.
And I have things to say.
I believe you do. It's all building up. It's just tension and pressure, and lots of holes to fill.
I mean,
that's for Jack.
Whoa.
We've got the insane clown posse camped outside the camp here, outside the stadium.
Is that what we're calling ICP?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, I would say they're the traveling circus. But yeah, let's talk a little bit. So we talked a little bit about the first episode when we were doing Survival Sunday. We were doing the crossover of Morgan going to Fear the Walking Dead. Since then, we've had a lot to catch up on. Main reason being is me and Zorro were talking about how great Fear is, how good it got after the first season.
Absolutely.
Actually, about mid-second season.
Mid-second season, yeah.
And so we told Mrs. Malice that she had to check it out, to which she went to go check it out after seeing the first episode of season 4, which after watching that, why wouldn't you want to check it out? Because those new characters were fantastic.
It did make me want to go watch it, and that's why I did.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit about your experience, how it was binging 3 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead. Did it make it better? Do you think it was better watching it all in one sitting, or do you wish you would have been there kind of from the beginning, watching week to week?
It was pretty good. I usually, what I do is, I'll be honest, before the new season of The Walking Dead comes out, I binge watch it. So I like binge watching shows, and I'm getting ready to see the new season 4. So getting to do that with the Fear the Walking Dead is that it gave me that same thing that I get when I watch The Walking Dead. So it was kind of cool to binge watch it. So, and I did have a favorite character. Unfortunately, I'm not happy.
Yes, we know. Yeah. Nobody saw that one coming.
They knew you were coming. That's why. She's here. She's caught up.
Oh, she's gonna watch the show. Let's kill him. Kill him.
Kill him.
So,
and we're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah. I'm in the pseudo place of where you were, Mrs. Malice. I actually started watching Fear 3 years ago. Punished myself through the first season, going, maybe it'll get better, and got through the first season and wasn't committed to it. Was like, I don't have any connection with these characters or anything. And then went back earlier this year because I heard, hey, it actually got pretty good. I was at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con this year, saw the trailer for this last season 3, and I'm like, damn, that looks really good. Maybe I should go back and give it a second chance. And it was the same type of thing where I went back, started watching season 2, and was going, it doesn't look like it's getting as much better as I hoped. And finally just pushed through it. And yeah, once you get to that second season, fantastic show. I dare I say it right now, I feel that this season, the way the storytelling's going, and once again, we pointed this out on the first episode. You cast Maggie Grace in the show, and all of a sudden it starts taking a Lost approach to it, where
Absolutely.
you don't know what's going on. That each episode makes you want to come back for the next week's episode because they leave just enough to have you go, what? Wait, what? Wait, I need to see what the answer.
You want to know what led up to what happened, or what the background was for something. Like there. Even before I made the connection that Maggie Grace is on it now, I was like, they are moving in a definite Lost direction. You know, the time jumps, and we're going to talk about it. And I'm pretty sure we already mentioned spoiler cast, but Nick dies, but he's not gone from the season. No. He's clearly going to be there the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah.
Because he died in the present, or the Walking Dead present. But a lot of the stuff that is showing is from a year or two ago, whatever the baseball stadium timeline is. And yeah, so he's going to be in a lot of that too. And they're just jumping back and forth.
For the show though, every time Morgan tells somebody that he don't die, that person's going to die.
Well,
that's a Nick.
Bringing that up. I got to bring this up. Okay, so far what we've noticed, what we've had, because this is going to be a broad spectrum cast because we haven't been going episode by episode. After this week, it'll be episode by episode that we'll be reacting to, discussing, and talking about. But yes, broad spectrum. We have 4 episodes, 3.5 really to kind of discuss. Season 3 ended with the dam blowing up.
Yes, Nick blowing up the dam specifically.
Yeah, yes. He's up on top of the dam. Daniel's on top of the dam. Nick survived. We've seen Nick.
Yep.
We haven't seen Daniel.
So the dam.
We have not seen Daniel since that episode.
Do you think Daniel survived?
Yes. I think Daniel survived because he's one badass mother.
I do too, and there's only one reason I want it to be that he survived. I want to see him and Morgan argue to each other about who lives.
I want to see
because both of them are like, I don't die.
That's true.
I want to see them both back and forth.
I believe he lives because his real name is Reuben Blades. Can you be more badass than that? This is a dude that ran for president of, I can't remember what country, but oh my God, he's amazing. He's also a pop star.
Yes, an amazing musician. So in real life. But yeah, no, I want to see them. How great of a moment would that be where Morgan's like, I don't die. And then Daniel's like, no, I don't die.
Back and forth. And I don't die.
So they're basically the cat versus buttered toast. Neither one can land down. It's just going to be a spinning infinity of I don't die.
Yeah.
It's literally Daniel was the Morgan for Fear, and Morgan was, of course, Morgan for The Walking Dead, and now we're combining them too. So I do want to see them two together on the screen.
Yeah, so I do not believe he's dead. I believe he's washed down the river somewhere. But also, there's been a huge time jump. So
he wasn't fully on the dam when it blew either. He was at the edge of the dam when it exploded.
Also, I want to welcome Fuse911 to the chat. Thank you so much for coming in. We're talking about Fear the Walking Dead. That's what he asked in the chat was what we're talking about. We're talking about Fear the Walking Dead, specifically the last 4 episodes because we've been gone for the last couple weeks and we're catching up. So
somebody has to catch up.
No, it's about zombies. It's about the Walking Dead zombies.
Yeah. It's just zombies on the other side of the country for the most part. Yes. Although at this point they're actually over to Texas. So there's no Walking Dead shows without migrating to different states, apparently.
Well, honestly, I can see if they could eventually combine the 2 shows too, because it seems like
now that the timelines are kind of caught up with each other, yeah, I totally agree with that.
Started in California, moved to Mexico, and now they're in Texas. So they're getting up there.
Yeah, whereas The Walking Dead started in Atlanta, moved over to basically have moved up to Washington D.C.
I thought they moved to Virginia. Did they go up?
They're near D.C. Yeah, Virginia still, okay. Alexandria, Virginia.
Welcome to Walking Dead chat talk about what is geography in America.
Post
Oh, no, they didn't move up. They went down. They were, no.
post apocalypse geography. Yes.
Yeah. What is really a state anymore? So, and Feud says nothing worse than Texan zombies.
Well, let's talk about the actual episodes. I mean, so the last thing that we talked about on the Survival Sunday, the 2 episode one, was after the Morgan episode, where we saw him transitioning from Alexandria, Virginia, over to meeting and getting kidnapped by the cast from Fear the Walking Dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was kind of brutal.
She did become my second character, or second favorite character, which is Nick's sister. What was her name? Alicia.
Yeah.
Who has become a serious badass.
Yeah.
One of my new favorite characters is Maggie Grace's character, the journalist. I love her blatant objectivity. She does not care what's happening around. She just wants people's stories.
Yes.
But no one seems to trust that.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to have trust in this world.
Especially with all they've been through, what each group has been through, it is hard for someone to trust somebody new. So
the other reason is like when it's like all I want is your story. It's like, wait, what? What's the catch? There's something weird here.
And also, you're driving a SWAT truck.
Yeah.
And Lisa does make that point too. Why do this? Why capture people's stories? She did turn the question around. Why are you doing it?
Well, what do you think? Because my opinion is that she believes that there's got to be something after, so that capturing all these people's stories is going to be just a kernel of truth, a kernel of experience from what happened after all the terribleness is over. But what do you think? Like, why do you think she's doing that, Mrs. Malice?
I think she's doing it, like you said, for the after, when it's all clear and everything's good again. There's no zombies.
Clear.
Did you hear Morgan say that last episode?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I missed it.
He said, "No, everything's all clear here."
And by the way, if you guys are watching this later on our YouTube channel or on a repeat on the Twitch channel here, really, you got to come join in on the chat every Monday, 9 p.m. It's a fantastic chat going on live that you're not seeing on the YouTube channel. Fuse 911, one of our new people here on the chat, is making some great comments and jokes inside. So
somebody said, "Why do we allow zombies to migrate?" Somebody else said, "We must build a wall." And then Jack Malice said, "Oh, so that's the reason for the wall, to stop zombie migrations." Now it makes sense.
Yeah. So, like I said, great chat going on in the chat room. So
don't build a dam.
Yeah, they'll just blow that up. But what were you saying? I got a little sidetracked on that one. Yeah, okay, here's the thing I'm thinking. Granted, the writing is fantastic this season so far. The show's been fantastic, but it feels to me the Althea character is Walking Dead going, hey, they didn't do World War Z right in a movie form. Let's do it on a TV show.
You are not wrong. You are definitely not wrong. That's a really good call.
I have to agree with that too. Yeah.
That's how it feels. She's creating the chronicles that basically World War Z is,
Yeah.
But in video form.
Yeah.
And doing it the way that the movie should. I mean, that's World War Z. Not to go off on a tangent, but
the book was amazing. The movie was garbage.
The book was amazing, and they could have created a great anthology of films where it's each of these different little stories taking place, and
why don't we work in Hollywood?
We have too many original ideas, I think it is.
Yeah. Original ideas do not survive there.
But that's for other casts. So that's where we rant and rave on MaliceCast Live on Fridays, where we talk nerd news and stuff. So this is Fear the Walking Dead.
Althea might be my favorite new character. I love Maggie Grace in that. Well, second favorite. John Dory. Yeah. John Dory. John Dory is absolute. Garrett Dillahunt. Anything he's ever in, he's going to be my favorite character. Now, to be fair, I never watched the what was it, Raising Hope? Never watched it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he was amazing in it. But all the way back to Deadwood, he played 2 different characters in Deadwood, and he was rad. The Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, he was great in that. I love Garrett Dillahunt. I'm so happy that he's in this right now. He's killing it, and he's just the nicest guy. He's a peacemaker. Like, every character that he's met, he's like, so you want to sit down and talk for a bit, or I'm tired of talking to myself. Yeah, no, Garrett Dillahunt is killing it as John Dory right now.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was the first episode. Basically, introduced us to these new characters, got us in love with the show all over again. Where even people like Mrs. Malice are like, I got to watch the show and join in and to see what's going on. Second episode, we went back to finding out a little bit of what happened to our mainstays, our people that we know from Fear the Walking Dead, Madison and her children, Victor, and once again, how the heck? Why am I forgetting her name?
It starts with an L, I think.
Which one?
Nick's girlfriend.
Nick's girlfriend.
Luciana.
Yeah. How did Lucy get back? That's another thing.
Yeah, because she had abandoned them for a while, and that was kind of a running joke for a little bit. Like, make sure she comes back. Like, I will. Yeah.
There, everything's going smooth and stuff. So she just was she hitchhiking when they were going.
She talked a little bit about it on Talking Dead. I think it was after the second or third episode. I can't remember, but she was like, "Oh yeah, no, she was just gone. She struck on her own. She ended up coming back." They really did not elaborate on it.
She wanted to go help her people, is what she said.
Well, she also very much didn't want to be in that ranch with that racist douche.
Yeah. Who also the guy that owned the ranch also was in Sons of Anarchy. If anybody.
Oh yeah, no, he was the sheriff in Sons of Anarchy. Wayne Callies, excellent actor.
And he was a good actor. But yeah, she did tell Nick too, and anybody, that she wanted to go help her people. And not only did she want to be there, but she wanted to go save her people because she lost the group she was with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where she was supposedly went. How did she get back? We don't know.
Yeah. So how do you guys think the season's going to go? Do you think that the first half, because they always have a half season just like The Walking Dead does, do you think the first half is just going to be catching up everything in this 1 year span?
I think the last episode of the first half of the season is going to be actually explaining what happened after the dam exploded.
Okay, yeah. So you think right before the break they'll start like, hey, just to make you guys come back, here's the ending of the story.
Because right now what they're doing is they're showing the conflict between the baseball stadium people, Kim Dickens' group, and the ICP sitting outside the gates, the nihilists or whatever, vultures, the vultures, yeah. But clearly we've already seen that dichotomy doesn't last long because Nick literally killed the dude's brother 2 episodes ago. So everything falls apart at some point. Everybody is just spread out. I think that we're going to, in the first half of the season, we're going to explore how that happened. And I do think that the last episode of the first half of the season is going to be showing what happened when the dam exploded. Because the last thing we saw in season 3 was Madison waking up on the side of the LA River. And we didn't know what the hell was happening with everybody else.
Yeah.
And I can't believe what I started in the chat room. There's now just discussion after discussion of World War Z and what characters are in the book versus the movie. And
actually, Jack Malice said, "Insane Clown Posse survived the zombie apocalypse."
Yeah. And Fuse says that because they said the Brad Pitt character, nor any Brad Pitt character was in the book for World War Z, and Fuse said, well, the book should be rewritten, maybe. A book starring Brad Pitt.
Well, if we want to debate about zombie movies that don't follow the book, I mean, I can go on a diatribe about I Am Legend, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, that'll be.
I saw that more as a vampire than a zombie movie.
Yeah, well, let's continue. So we see that we know at least a good amount of people survived from the end of season 3. Mm-hmm. They're living it up. They're living it up in a baseball stadium, and
the crops are failing.
The crops are failing. There's a little girl that they're trying to connect with, Charlie.
I don't like
And-
that little girl, but I have my reasons why I dislike this little girl.
Yeah.
So
So
she killed Nick.
Yeah.
yeah, that I would think would be the proper
I had
reason.
reasons not to like her in the first place, even before she killed Nick.
Yeah.
It was very clear from the start that she was a plant.
Yep.
She kept on asking very leading questions. How much food do you guys have? Like, how long do you think you could last here if no food came in from the outside? I was like, oh, she's a bad guy.
Yeah, and that's what happens. They go out and do their little runs to go get stuff. Nick finally goes out for the first time, I guess, since he's been cooped up forever, because he's, despite being the one that knew how to walk amongst the dead without any problems and not fear the Walking Dead, he has the greatest fear for him and doesn't want to go back out there. And he finally works up the courage to go out there. And while that's happening, they find our other new character, Jenna Elfman's character, which she tells us is Naomi,
my third new favorite character. Yeah.
and I don't know, I love seeing Dharma be like super serious in a role.
I really hope she doesn't die, because I do like
Jenna Elfman is fantastic. I love her, but you gotta her introductory sequence. The fact that she doesn't trust them immediately after Kim Dickens, what's her name in the show? The mom,
Madison,
yes. She literally falls into a pit of oil and zombies for her, and she doesn't immediately trust them after that. Like, come on, what more do you need them to do?
Ugh.
Yeah,
I just say that Fear, it has the gruesome zombies. They do. They have mastered gruesome zombies.
that was one of the most fantastic scenes of zombie killing in either of the shows.
Yep. Ugh,
Just trapped in a fuel silo in oil with a bunch of zombies that have been covered in oil forever.
well, hey, it goes back to what we were saying in the chat room about Texan zombies. They're always striking oil. Bring it back around.
Covered in black
like
gold.
there. It was good to get to know what the numbers meant, though, too, because we saw that too in the Survivor episode. So it was good to see that.
They're now talking about zombie translations in the chat room. Jack Malice said, moan, slurp, gurgle. And he said, translator, welcome to the cast. We're glad you're here. Pull up a chair and join the conversation. Sorry, guys. We've gone off on a tangent.
Someone needs to translate what Simon was saying.
Simon Zombie comes back up again. We're talking for The Walking Dead. Yeah.
Worst zombie ever.
By the way, this cast is brought to you by MaliceCorp.com. Go check out the website and see all things nerd that we talk about over on the website. Appreciate you stopping by. So, but yeah, so we find out that Charlie's actually a plant, that she's there to find out information, and the vultures show up, as Zorro calls them, the Insane Clown Posse. I was saying the traveling circus, kind of.
It's a circus theme in general. Yeah.
Yeah. Rolling up in a Winnebago and all
hipster
different stuff.
Circus. Let's go ahead and call them hipster circus.
Definitely hipster circus.
Yeah.
So, to which they know who everybody is inside the baseball stadium. They know
because Charlie is apparently a master spy.
Yeah, she's been feeding them information for who knows how long.
She's not only feeding them information, she's found out everything about everybody.
Yeah.
Because, 11-year-old girls get all the secrets.
Apparently.
So, but that's the thing is, you talk about, and that probably goes back to your thing, saying like, people not trusting Althea when she's like, I just want to know your story. Well, the last person we told everything to, they ended up telling the group
That's fair.
You know,
But I feel that it's less disingenuous with Althea. She's literally holding a camera and saying, "I don't want anything from you. I just want you to tell me your story. Whatever you have going on, whatever, that's cool. Just tell me about you." Like I feel like that's less dangerous, unless she's, scouting for a massive group that's going to take over the. Wait a minute.
so.
No.
Yeah, so they still have this connection with Charlie. They look at it as almost a Stockholm syndrome thing, where she got saved, and that's why she's by them originally, and that's why she's helping them out. That she's not really happy with them. That she needs to come back inside the walls and be taken care of. And despite that, you still see her laughing out there with them, and Lucy goes out to take a book tour, and the guy watching it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love the fact that Nick and Lucy are still very much connected to Charlie, and this is in the previs, the past timeline before she kills Nick. But you see both of them, like Lucy brings her a book. Nick, when they're scouting a town, he's checking out the library because he wants to bring books to the kid.
Yeah.
So I gotta wonder. There's got to be an episode that describes or explains why she hates him so much. Like, why did she shoot him? Because
he killed her friend or that one.
Well, no, he killed that guy
Yeah.
maybe half an hour before she shot him. So this is not that.
But she's
that's
still
not an
with
old
him.
grudge.
She's still with him. It's not a little grudge, but she's still with him, and she's still. Does she know that he got killed, and so she just sees somebody? I don't think she knew it was him until he looked up.
I feel like you don't shoot somebody in the chest without warning unless you actually have an old grudge. So I feel like we're going to find somebody.
The way that the look on her face, it looked like she didn't realize it was him.
That's true. That's true. She looked a little surprised.
That was the first time she's ever killed somebody.
And sorry, guys. Hopefully you've watched all these episodes because we're jumping all over the place in these episodes.
Yeah, we absolutely are. Lori, that's a great point. It might have just been the look on her face that's the first time she's ever shot somebody.
That could be it too. But then the look on Nick's face is also like, of all the people, why you didn't expect her to do something like that. Like, it didn't look like there was a grudge situation.
Well, he looked like, oh my God, did I just get shot?
Yeah, but then he looked up and saw her, and then it went back to his face again, and he was kind of like,
why?
Yeah, like.
I just think the whole thing was very surprising. Like, I'm just sitting here on a porch.
Can we talk about one thing? Did you guys notice the intros for each episode? No, for each episode of Fear the Walking Dead.
The intros are feeling very preacher-like.
They change per episode. I love it.
They do. Yes, they do.
I absolutely love it.
Not the first two.
First one was John Dory by the fire.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the second one was. Third one was the flower that Nick is holding up, remembering him and his mom seeing that the flowers in the field. This week's episode was camera glitches in the screen.
Nice.
So
I have noticed that they've been changing. But
I love it. They pertain to what like this whole episode this week was all about videotaping, getting the story from Victor, from Lucy, and from Alicia. Right? I'm sorry. But that's why I love the camera glitch, because her camera is it's a nice camera, but it's pretty beat up.
So. Talk about the starter too. I'm glad that they're doing it, because their old start kind of hurt my eyes. Like the flashingness of it, and it was irritating.
Yeah, and Fuse says you can't expect people to be reasonable when dealing with zombies. Yeah, that's true.
True.
So, and then Jax brings back up to Althea, people are in a vulnerable state, and by sharing their stories, they feel even more vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, no, you guys are making some great points inside the chat room. So, I'll try and keep getting back to what you guys are saying, because they are making great points to what's going on with how characters react towards what's going on in this world and stuff. But, now that we're jumping all over the place, I'm a little lost on things. Sorry.
Sorry.
No. Well, I mean, we came back to so the vultures showed up. They basically said you can either join us or we're gonna sit here and wait till you guys die.
and then
Because
take everything you have.
yeah, exactly. To Madison having her pride, saying that we're not joining, we can still survive this and do all this type of stuff and everything and move on, and they'll have to move along eventually. And then we find out that we jump back up into modern time and something bad happened because Victor and Nick and Lucy and Alicia are hijacking people on the side of roads to try and find the vultures to kill them and take them out.
I still want to know what. I mean, I'm sure we're going to find out what happened to bring them to that point, but we have not seen Madison in the present day storyline, and I feel like that's going to play a big issue.
Few said that they are over his head talking about for I guess conversation, and Jack said, "What zombies are over your head? That is a dangerous position to be in. Are your zombies just in the plane?" And he said, "I hadn't thought of that." And Jack says, "Zombie airborne strike force." Now that is terrible. Yes, that is horrible. No, flying zombies.
I want to know what led them from being, somewhat self-sufficient in a baseball stadium, even if they had Insane Clown Posse parked outside, to having to hijack cars on the road.
And that's the thing. Like, this whole episode keeps planting this seed of if they hadn't left, if they would have left, then none of this stuff would have happened. So, but the vultures.
There was very much what happened this day changed everything, but I didn't actually see.
And the vultures did this, so we have to get revenge. We have to kill. And I'm just like, but they're not attacking.
Well, because Luciana and Nick were like, well, if we didn't, well, Luciana specifically, because Nick is dead. And Luciana was like, if only we'd gone north. And Strand is like, if only, I want to know what happened. Like, they keep saying this day is what changed everything. Please give it to us.
Well, they will. I think they will eventually, because we had the same problem.
Of course they will.
The Walking Dead. There was a lot of bouncing back and forth until we got towards the end of the season, and then we finally it all came together. It all started making sense. So we're getting that whole bounce back for.
yeah, it's you're gonna though, but that's what I'm trying to figure out now after this episode of showing that they got to get the revenge on this group. They don't seem like an attack first type of group.
No.
They literally specifically say, we are not going to attack you. We're not going to break you. We're just going to wait for you for the inevitable conclusion of your community failing. And then we're going to pick up the pieces.
They are named. They named them correctly in the show. They are vultures.
They are the vultures.
They're just there until
die, and then they're going to pick it clean and then move on.
So then, is it a different group that popped up at these? Because where everybody else was dead and stuff that these flags are at, that is coming in and attacking.
I think the group is bigger than what we see right now. I think it's really big.
I had not considered that, but I think it's definitely that group or a subsidiary of it that's putting up flags. Like, the only time we've ever seen flags with the number of zombies trapped inside this is from the vultures.
Yes. They demonstrate it though too. When they first show up, they lead the zombies into the truck and then write how many are on the truck.
I know that dude got on a bicycle, but if he had got on a tricycle, I would not have been surprised.
Oh my god. I couldn't help laugh at that.
As he was riding around leading the zombies, I was like, yeah. And literally, so the guy that was riding the bike, that's the guy that Nick kills with the antlers.
Yes.
Yeah. And who is apparently also the brother of the main vulture guy.
Yeah, but they explained that in the one episode. So yeah, to which we go a little bit further. we start seeing him try to build trust between the two groups, the new group of characters that we love and adore, and the old group of characters that we love and adore, coming together, and things get set off. The big truck crashes. Then there's a bunch of zombies. Yay! It's a zombie show. That's what happens. So they need to get the truck out of this ditch. So
the Nick and Morgan scene there was one of my favorite things, and this was. It was previewed, and in fact, I think it was one of the main season previews.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, was just showing Nick trying to get to something, and Morgan slapping his hand down with his staff.
His knife.
That was
a knife. Like, yeah, you're not worried. I'm just gonna, and try and grab the knife, and then Nick snaps. Morgan slaps him with his staff, and he tries to run away, and Morgan trips his ass, and it's hilarious. Yeah, it was the best scene from the trailers, and now I see, after killing Nick, why Nick wasn't in more trailers with him and Morgan.
Yeah.
Well, and there was a moment, I think it was Morgan's leg is hurt, and Nick has to go up to do something on the top of the road when the truck is stuck. And I, for a minute, literally believed that Nick was going to come back down and help him. But no, he just takes off running after the El Camino, which is what the brother of the guy that he ended up killing. But at first I was like, I'm pretty sure Nick's going to come back down here and help him because he's a good dude. Is it just me, or did the main protagonists, the people that we have come to love in Fear the Walking Dead, do they feel like kind of the bad guys for the first couple episodes?
Yes.
I didn't feel like that. I mean, it was a little weird of them being on the side of the road, hijacking a truck and acting, but it didn't. It's hard because Madison does kind of toe that line, I would say, between good. She almost has the.
Madison is absolutely an anti-hero. Yes,
I'll agree with that. And the problem is Madison's hooked up with Victor as well, who is definitely all for himself.
I love Victor Strand, but he is 100% solo focused.
Yeah, on himself. I don't like him.
But I mean, like,
he's actually my least favorite character. So
Strand is?
No, Victor.
Yeah, Victor Strand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like I just basically said, the characters from this show are supposed to be our heroes. They're supposed to be the protagonists. They're the survivors that we've been following. If compare it to The Walking Dead, if we had been following Negan's group or the governor's group from the start, we'd probably think they were the right people. But in this case, we've been following, what's her name? Madison. Yes, thank you. We've been following Madison's group, so they are the heroes in this. But at the first couple episodes of the season, especially the one following Morgan's journey, we're like, are they? They're kind of dicks right now. They're holding people hostage. They're, you see them pointing guns at people in the SWAT van, and you're like, we kind of like everybody in there, but they kind of feel like the bad guys. Is that just me?
I kind of agree with you on that, but you gotta remember what they've been through. These are new people. We've seen this happen in The Walking Dead too, where they get new people, and even Rick's group has been like, no, point guns, we don't trust you. So I can see how it is for them to be the way they are with new people. Again, they've been coming back. So.
Well, an excellent comment from Jack Malice here, who says they have to be heroes. Just because they're protagonists doesn't mean they're heroes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially in this type of world.
Yeah.
So
that's a moral gray.
Yeah. The moral compass goes far, far out the window when it comes to zombies.
If we ever actually have the zombie apocalypse, I do not commit to being a hero.
I like the way what Fuse said was, yes, it's kind of like how we are attracted to looking at car accidents.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to look at the gruesome and see like.
Oh yeah. We watch what's interesting, not what's good.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes that's how the Kardashians keep getting television shows.
Also, News 911 is confused that Jack just got mentioned. Apparently, he doesn't know that we follow the chat as we do the cast.
Yeah, and Jack is our producer for the show, if you didn't know. So thank you so much for producing the show and helping us sound somewhat legible and look like we're not frozen pictures.
Well, speak for yourself. I have terrible connections.
He's over there grinning right now.
But yeah, so like you said, Morgan and Nick got into a little bit of a tussle, which created another question mark for the show in terms of that's a MacGuffin for something somewhere later, because a lock gets knocked off of one of the cabinets in the truck.
Yep.
And
that was a weak lock, by the way.
It was a very weak lock.
Althea comes running into the truck and seeing the lock, and the first thing she does is check in there to make sure that all her tapes are in there. Couldn't see what was written on any of them, but there's going to be something.
It was label. I did see it was labels of just times and dates where she recorded people.
Okay, but that's the question: is what is the end game on these recordings? Again, where when somebody finally draws up the courage to see one of her tapes that she's hiding, is there something more to Althea than just wanting your story?
That's
Does
a fair
she want
point.
the end of your story as well, meaning that's when she kills you and makes you his own?
Oh, see, that's a reach.
Wow.
That's a reach. That's a reach.
I agree it's a reach, but there's
wow.
My guess is that at some point, whatever she's hiding, whatever tape she has that she doesn't want other people to find, is going to be something that deeply represents her background.
Her story.
And there's maybe something that she doesn't want other people to know.
Her story.
Yeah, exactly.
She's hiding.
Yeah, exactly what Mrs. Malice just said.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I agree. I just like throwing out those really, really weird
curveballs. If somebody finds the wrong tape, they're gonna get killed. I don't buy that.
No, I'm saying they're gonna find a tape where like Althea killed the person after getting their story and was like, your story's over.
Now you've told me your story.
Yeah.
No.
Like, here, I need an ending to your story. Here's the end. Yeah.
No. Maggie Grace is much better at laying on a beach in a bikini.
Oh my God.
Oh no, we're back to Lost. I'm sorry.
This is goth Maggie Grace, though, man. Dark hair.
I know.
Dark hair Maggie.
I am loving it. Girl has range. I want to know what we're going to see more from John Dory now that he has found out that Naomi is Laura. We saw the parallels. We saw the same scenes of the finding the bag and pulling the JD pearl handled pistols out of it. Clearly, his ex, was it his ex or his wife, or I don't remember the actual story. It was a girl he was looking for.
They had the same guns. He made it sound like it was somebody that he was in love with, but then he made the point of saying that she never told me her real name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like, she said her name was Naomi. She never told me her real name. So now it's wondering when did.
Well, he said she called herself Naomi. That's Laura.
But then he said she never told me her real name.
Yeah.
I missed that part. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He said she never told me her real name.
Do we think that Naomi / Laura is actually dead? Because the protagonists that we love are very clear. They've seen her die.
Well,
do we think we're going to see her again?
There's the question again. Is Jenna Elfman's character actually Laura, or did Laura tell the real name and Jenna Elfman's character killed Laura or took the gun from Laura?
That's a fair point.
That would be
like this could be a twist that they're trying to do here, where they're like, it's the same person.
I had not considered that.
I didn't think about that either.
So, could Laura or whoever he's looking for be alive, and she took the gun from her because she's clearly steals stuff. she's a female Victor right now, where it's like, I need to take care of myself until somebody talks her down from a ledge.
Here's the thing. So Laura / Naomi, she's very hesitant to buy into the whole community thing, and I get that. At this point in the story, people, you've joined communities, you've lost communities, you've made friends with people, they've died. Some of them have probably betrayed you, but this community seems to be pretty much on the up and up. Like, they saved you from a gas tank full of zombies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they brought you to a stadium where they're growing food and gave you a bedroom to sleep in, hot and cold running water. But she still seems very hesitant to join in. At what point do you, as you yourself, at what point do you stop distrusting people and be like, yep, I'm going to be part of this community now?
Well, it didn't seem to be a factor that she didn't trust people. She was just like, this is not going to last. It is already on the outs, and you guys aren't seeing it. So
Okay,
until you-
so at what point do you, Wes, or you, Miss Malice, at what point do you, when you run into a group, go, you know what? I'm throwing all in with these people. What does it take?
Well, if her situation, because now I'm thinking too that maybe her situation is she's been with groups, they've always failed. So now that's another reason why she doesn't want to join a group, is because she's fearing that it's going to fail again.
Well, that's the Enid situation.
Yeah, I can understand that. I myself would not want to join another group because apparently it's not safety in numbers anymore when it comes to zombies.
People in the comments, by the way, chime in. See, I don't know. At some point, don't you believe in the zombie apocalypse, numbers are safety?
I would.
As long as you're faster than everybody else.
Yes.
As long as you're faster than the slowest person.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jack keeps bringing up the that he said Laura was good with a gun, so was she a gunfighter like him? Which he established this episode, to which the look on Morgan's face was like, how do I keep getting shacked up with cops? Because that's John Dory, and Dory told him, hey, I was a cop in the previous life. And, and
Do you believe him?
I believe him.
Morgan's first encounter with everybody, his first encounter in Walking Dead was with a cop, and now
Doesn't mean he was a great cop. He could have been a Barney Fife cop, but I believe him.
My opinion of John Dory saying he was a cop, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, this is the first time he'd lied.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think I think he was more and this is kind of out there. I think he was circus sideshow guy.
Bounty hunter.
No, I think he was like, I think he worked like I said, this is very out there. I think he worked in like Wyoming as like a Wild Bill's Wild West like sideshow kind of guy. Just, hey, come see the amazing quick draw. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what Jack Malice brings up in the thing, is that he may have been a cop if he was, but he's obviously very skilled with the quick draw and master of the hip fire. So
yeah, there's not a lot of quick draw cops.
That Naomi had the same skills. But now I'm wondering is, did he give the gun? Does his gun say JD on it as well?
It does. It is same pearl handled with the JD.
So then he clearly gave her one of his guns because they both say JD.
Well, that was his entire point when he was looking for, when he was like, have you met a girl with a gun that looks a lot like this, got the same pearl handle, got the, JD on it.
Yeah. So then clearly this wasn't a relationship before the zombie apocalypse. It was
they were at least together enough to trade guns, or for him to give one to her.
For him to give one to, because he wanted to make sure she was safe or something.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack can rebuttal on this if I'm saying this wrong, but I think Jack was saying when we saw the first episode, he was worried that there's going to be some dark twist with Dorian, that he like ran her off or something, or which I hope doesn't happen, because I like this character too much.
I like him a lot.
So
no, if anything, I think it's he gave her a gun to protect herself. I think we're probably going to get a reminiscence episode, probably a backstory a little bit of the two of them. But I think it's going to be along the lines of like, here, take this gun in case anything happens. And then they get tragically separated and never see each other again.
Yeah. And Jack, bringing up to your point of when you were asking about group numbers in a zombie horde, he says not necessarily more people draws more zombies. And Fuse makes the point of what happens when they eat all the people, which of course makes a bigger horde.
More people draws more zombies, but if you have the proper protection, if you have the proper walls, more people actually entails killing more zombies. When they had the chain link fence around the prison, if they had just stayed out there stabbing people through the fence, they would not have had a problem in the long run, because there's only so many zombies that are going to wander through the area at a time. If you kill all of them, you get a little bit of peace.
Yeah, true.
And Fuse brings up the point that zombies are but a distraction. In zombie movies, most zombie movies are about a human element, which is 100% true about The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Time and time again, Robert Kirkman has stated The Walking Dead are not the zombies.
No, they're the people.
Yeah. So
that was even stated in The Walking Dead season 3, right before they got to the prison. Rick looks around, he's doing the campfire speech. He says, you know what? We are the Walking Dead. We're the people. It's right after he tells them that everybody has the zombie virus, and you're going to turn when you die, regardless if you've been bit or not. But yeah, that's everybody is the Walking Dead. The living are the Walking Dead.
I love that Fuse is calling you blue shirt guy in the chat room.
I know. Well, that's because Jack told him to. If you scroll up just a little bit, he said blue t-shirt guy. That's what we're going to call Izoro from now on. This t-shirt literally has the lyrics to the theme song of Firefly on it. So if you want to refer to me by that, I'm cool with it.
That's okay. I have my Negan shirt on, so. Wrong show, but hey, I don't have here the Walking Dead shirt yet.
I didn't have a clean Walking Dead shirt to put on, so I put a Slipknot shirt on because I thought that was the closest thing to watch.
Well, here's the thing. If Jack wants to call me blue shirt guy, I will literally sing the lyrics to Firefly right now.
No.
Ready? No? Ready? No? Oh?
No.
Oh.
No, thank you. Not right now. On another cast, we can do that. Couple questions about this week's episode in terms of little things that they dropped. I mean, we got that Naomi is Laura. Other one, Victor talks about how he tries to keep himself from becoming what he was before, and he keeps this as a souvenir, and he holds up a little stone, which to the guy he was talking to is like, it looks like a rock. And that was where it was like, well, where's the rock come from?
That has been semi-explained. We still don't know the actual origins of it, but if you watch Talking Dead after The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead, the guy that plays Victor Strand, Coleman Domingo, he said that the little chunk of concrete that Victor is carrying around is actually part of the dam that blew up at the end of season 3. We still don't know why that's so meaningful to him, but for some reason it's his reason to keep his humanity.
I would think it would be more that the stone came from the villa in Mexico with
well, go ahead. Sorry.
His boyfriend.
No, it's literally from the dam. That's what they've said.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I thought the stone would have come from, was from the villa in Mexico when they were there.
Character-wise, that would make sense.
Yeah, it's more sentimental to me.
But they actually have said it's from the dam.
The dam. Okay.
Yeah.
Which makes sense why he has a piece of the dam right now.
Yeah. Well, I would understand the dam because the dam wouldn't have blown up if not for the trying to take care of himself that he always does.
Yeah.
To which showed that he was trying to take care of himself again by hiding food, and he decides that he's got to keep with these people because they've been taking care of. I mean, this is the bad thing about trailers because they always give away things. But there's a scene in the trailer where clearly Victor is talking to Madison about her saving him and why did you save me? Kind of the same thing that Rick did to Morgan.
You talking about the trailer for the next episode?
Is the next episode? No, the original season 4 episode.
Oh, okay.
The original season 4 trailer. It had a little clip in there about Victor talking about like Madison saving him.
He does kind of save him several times though.
Yeah, and then they have a shot together.
And I know we've talked about this a little bit, but I am really looking forward to seeing what happens after that dam explodes. Whenever that episode comes up, that's my jam. I want to see it.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you on that one. Hopefully next episode.
And I said it before too. I think it's going to be right before the mid-season finale.
They're now talking zombie musicals. Thank you for talking about trying to sing on this episode. We now
Cannibal
have zombie
the musical. What?
We have zombie musical talk in the chat room. So, once again,
I'm sorry.
join in the conversation live so you can see the fantasticness that happens in the chat room that we will make little points about every once in a while, but we can't read the entire chat, although that might be a more entertaining cast. Us just sitting here reading what everybody else has to say.
We are entertaining on multiple levels.
I will quit watching both shows. If either show does a musical, I swear.
No, they won't do a musical.
Stop quoting your husband.
So the other thing was, who else thought, and I think this would be a huge stretch, but who else thought that when the guy got cactus zombie on him and got the zombie, the cactuses in his arm, that was like, oh, he's gonna turn because now he's got the mixture of blood.
I didn't think he was gonna turn. I just thought the zombie was great because we haven't seen it.
Oh, the zombie was amazing.
It's a porcupine zombie.
But if it was stuck, if the now seeing what happened with Gabriel over on The Walking Dead, if the zombie and with the coated blood instruments on Walking Dead, now if the zombie has cactus thorns in its skin that transfer over to the other person.
Wait. I think me and Andrew are about to say the same thing. The one end was in the zombie. When the zombie touched him, the end that wasn't in the zombie went into the person. So yeah, the blood did mix. So
essentially, if those cactus spines have zombie blood on them and they puncture your skin, yes, you should absolutely turn. There's no other way around that.
Yeah. But I don't think the other ends that went into the dude were punched.
Yeah, no, if they're all punched into the zombie and then the zombie face points into you, no, you're good. As long as those ends of the spines were clean.
Are not contaminated.
Exactly. Not contaminated. Yeah.
So no, I think he was safe from the porcupine zombie.
I just, with the way that their writing has gone on some things, I could see them going like, "Ooh, look at."
If the fact that they randomly decided to make Gabriel covering himself in zombie gore a contagious thing, or him getting sick. When other people had done it before and not gotten sick, I don't know that they have solid rules here.
I know.
Wasn't there an episode back, I think in season 3, where Nick was collecting heads for the bartender to pull out a certain part of the zombie's brain to feed to people? So how did the people eating these zombie stems not turn into zombies?
Jack Malice says,
absolutely true.
Jack, I said I was going to ignore Jack in the chat, but I have to comment on this. If a crow eats a zombie and then pecks you, will you become a zombie?
Well,
he's not wrong.
That,
the rules are not clear.
The rules are not clear.
In the fear.
If it's eating the peck and it's got blood on its bill, you might become a zombie.
Well, no. What Mrs. Malice was saying there was absolutely correct. Like they were eating zombie pituitary glands, brain stems. As a method of drugs.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're eating dead zombie body parts, shouldn't you get zombieism? I don't know.
Well,
the rules here are not clear.
The rules are not clear, and then he also stated about like how soon the zombie had turned for it to be able to be used. Like it couldn't be one that
was a very specific type of drug dealer.
Yeah.
He's a really good drug dealer, apparently.
And Feud says zombies don't do drugs. Yes. Don't do drugs. Anybody.
Don't do drugs.
First one's free.
Yeah. So, and then the last thing, this is the thing that I got out of this episode, being the old pop culture nerd that I am. But when they were in the library and you saw librarian zombie, has anybody else watched the old Twilight Zone with the last man alive that reads books?
Yeah,
so,
I know that one.
Yeah, so this guy hates people. He finally is away from everybody. It's only him alive on Earth. He's going to be able to read books forever, and then his glasses fall down and break, and he can't see.
Oh, and he's Jack Malice.
Oh my god.
But when I saw the glasses on the floor and the guy slit his wrist, that's the exact same feel I got. Was like, oh my god, I can't read now. I'm killing myself.
If I couldn't read and I was the last person on Earth, I would definitely kill myself.
Yeah, it was Burgess Meredith that played. Awesome. Fuse.
Burgess Meredith.
That's who played.
Good
Yes.
poll.
So awesome.
Nice.
I have found a kindred spirit in pop culture in their chat room.
Apparently, 9/11. That's your boy.
So, but yeah, we are all pretty much caught up. Although, if you watch this cast, you probably have no idea what happened in the last few episodes because we're all over the place.
We've been kind of scattershot.
I appreciate you guys joining us. It'll be much more linear next week when we talk about episode 5 of Fear the Walking Dead. If you're looking to catch up on these shows, as always, you can always go over to malice-corp.com. The link to Amazon on there. If you want to pick up any of these shows on Amazon's website, if you go through our link, it helps us out. You still get your stuff. It's awesome. It's a twofer.
You're going there anyway. Go through there, through us.
And if you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime, and that gives you a monthly free 30-day subscription that you can apply to any Twitch channel. So if you want to apply your 30-day subscription to us this month, we greatly appreciate it. You just hit that sub up at the top, or if you just want to come back here and just enjoy the conversation and chat with us, because that's really what this is all about, hit that heart button that's up at the top of the screen, and that'll start you following this channel, and you'll be notified whenever we go live. We do have live casts on Friday evenings talking all things nerd and nerd news, and Monday evenings right now talking about Fear the Walking Dead. So with things popping up for Quest for 100, which is our podcast about movies, 2 of our other members trying to watch 100 movies in a theater in a calendar year. We have Malice Corp Smack Talk right now, which is a wrestling podcast that will pop up every once in a while on the channel. Along with,
honestly, as a member of the team here, Quest for 100 is the one I listen to the most often. Listening to Beacon and Big Papa Matt talk about movies is hilarious. Those guys are amazing.
Yeah. And I want to thank Fuse for joining us tonight, and hopefully you come back for any of our other chats. We this is why we do this live. It's so that we can interact with the chat room and have discussions and geek out and nerd out on things that we love to talk about. Granted, it's not always going to stay straight on subject, but that's what we're here for. We're here to have fun and give everybody a chance to be able to talk about whatever as well. But with that being said, let's talk about where we can follow everybody. Icy Zora, where can we follow you off when we're
off of this? Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Icy Zoro. A lot of wine country stuff. This is where I live. This is what I do. It's my passion. A lot of wine making stuff. Gorgeous vineyard vistas, and that's pretty much the thing.
Awesome. What about you, Mrs. Malice?
What is it? Tweet me at Mrs. Malice 4134. I cannot remember my account name right now. I'm still in zombie land.
4134 is it? I think.
What?
4134. Mrs. Malice just was new to the Twitter universe before when we were doing this cast, and then she took 3 weeks off and she forgot what her Twitter handle is.
I have.
It is 4134. Mrs. Malice. So
I'm glad somebody else was able to pull it up.
MRS MALICE 4134 on Twitter. You can follow her and talk all things dead all the time. So, and we're talking about Walking Dead, not actually like dead.
And she really likes the gory stuff.
Yes,
she does like the gory stuff. Yes, that's her favorite parts of Walking Dead is when it gets really gory. Like the episode where Morgan reached in and pulled that intestines out. She was, see, we're not doing this to make her like to have people send her stuff that she doesn't want to see. Literally, that's what she likes of the episode.
The more dismemberment, the happier she's gonna be.
See, now I'm a little disappointed because Fear the Walking Dead doesn't have a lot of gore.
Wait for it.
Oh, it's coming. I'm sure it's. We finally got real walkers for the first time this season. So,
True.
I mean, everything beforehand was just deteriorating semi people. So,
Half people.
you can also follow this entire channel of things on Twitter at MaliceCorp. You see it written right there. Our cast for All Things Nerd is at MaliceCast. You can follow our other great podcasts, Nerd Mosh Pit, Quest for Movies, there at the bottom as well. We also have a comic book cast that is an audio cast only at All for Comics. Comics for All? No, All for Comics. They mix it up on me. So
All for
great
comics, I
cast.
believe,
Check
yeah.
them out on Stitcher. Check them out on iTunes. It's a fantastic cast. It's basically conversations you get if you were to walk into a comic shop and just start talking about nerd stuff. And then you can follow me on Twitter at Mest_MaliceCorp or on Instagram at Mest5150. With that being said, thank you so much for joining us today. If you come back later, join us next Monday. We'll be here live. Fuse 911, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you on the chat again.
If your friends watch Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead and they want to hear about it afterwards, if they want to hear people discussing about it, point them over here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fuse, and you're welcome.
With that being said, you guys keep talking dead to each other, keep talking dead to us, and we will see you
Not
next
dirty?
week. No.
Carry on.
There we go again.